Alright, and welcome back to Blackphoenix Entertainment. I kind of forgot to make this video. I've been kind of busy and getting back from the trip and everything and just trying to make sure more videos get pumped out. But yeah, post gamm25 video. So I've talked about it a little bit in kind of my sporadic videos, but let's make a specific video talking about the post gamm stuff, the ride back from gamm, because I didn't film that part, and just lessons learned, and that's just the trip as a whole. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, the trip as a whole was awesome. Like, I knew this was going to be my longest trip ever, and just, you know, planning for that, doing all the miles and all of that. Yeah, it was a lot, but it was... Is that guy gonna go? No? Okay. It was a lot, but at the same time, it was awesome. I got to get to North Carolina, Georgia, two states I've never been to. I got to see more of Tennessee, because I have been there before, but I got to do the Tail, got to do the Skyway, Moonshine. Like, we got to do all these awesome roads, meet some new people and all that, so the trip was definitely well worth it. The trip down, yeah, the most I've done in a day is about 500 miles. Like, 500 miles is my comfortable, like, limit, I guess. That's like the amount of mileage that I'm comfortable with doing, and like I'm not completely exhausted, and, you know, time-wise and all that stuff. So this time, because again Georgia was so much further down, I'm like, I can't, I gotta do more than 500. Like, that was like what I was thinking of in my mind when I'm planning this trip out. I'm like, I gotta do it. I gotta do 700, and then that'll get me closer, and then whatever. So the way down wasn't bad. Like, we hit weather, we hit rain and hail and stuff like that, but time-wise, like, we still banged it out, me and roadie riders. Like, we killed it, and we got down there, then oh, sorry, just had breakfast. And see, I wasn't sure if I was gonna wear the hoodie or not under this, but now with like the wind and stuff, I'm like, yeah, this is worth it. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so yeah, and then the second day, then once we got down, you know, closer to Tennessee area, like everything was fine. So yeah, all of that, and then the gamm riding, all that was fine. The way back is when we hit issues, and I don't know what happened. I didn't think this was gonna happen, but it was a Sunday morning. We start riding up. I'm like, it's a Sunday. Like, it should be fine. There should be no construction. There should be none of this. Like, traffic should be somewhat minimal. Truck should be a minimal. No, we hit the most goddamn traffic I have ever hit on a trip ever. Like, it added probably close to 3 hours to our trip. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. It should not have taken us over 15 hours to get where we were in Georgia up to Pennsylvania. Absolutely should not have done that. But, and there was a point where I looked at Randy and I'm just like, dude, we can still stop in Maryland. Like, we could just stop and then do the rest of the thing the next day. And I think we were both at a point, it was like we had one more stop, basically. It was like one more gas stint to go, and we're like, let's just do it. We'll just bang it out. We'll get there super late. But we didn't get to our Pennsylvania hotel till 10:30 at night. And I'm like, dude, like, that was a lot. It was just traffic. Nothing else stopped us but traffic. There was no weather. The weather was fine. All of that. Like, we stopped. We made our stops. Gas. You know, everything else went fine. Just sitting in goddamn traffic on 81 was absolutely ridiculous on a Sunday. Like, a Sunday morning into afternoon into night. It's like, this is just absolutely dumb. So if it was the 500 would have put us around the Maryland area where we were thinking about staying, and that would have been fine. Then added the extra couple hours just to get up. So I mean, it is what it is, lessons learned and stuff. But one of the biggest things on a trip like that, if you're just cruising, you're gonna lose time. Like, you've got to be able to make up some time in some spots to get to where you're going. Again, unless you completely don't care, unless you're not on any sort of timetable and you're just cruising, doing whatever, then that's fine. But you've got a place you need to be. Like, there are spots, especially depending on how many miles you can get on a tank. Oh, now my nose is itchy. Like I was saying, like, yeah, especially depending on how many miles you can get on tank and like eating and hydration and stuff like that, you've got to kind of plan all that out the longer the trip goes. So basically what we did was we would take one big like food break. Like, we're gonna stop, literally sit down and eat and whatever. Every other stop was snacking. We'll just snack, we'll just do this, whatever. And some of them were just like a gas. We would just gas up, maybe take a sip of a drink or something, a little bite to eat, and just go. And some of them were like, all right, we're gonna sit here and snack for a little bit and rest, and then we'll go. So those are the types of things you gotta plan out. And honestly, again, without that traffic on that Sunday, it was perfectly fine. Would I do the 700 miles again? Maybe, I don't know. I think it depends on where I'm going, and at that point, if the days start getting longer like that, depending on how much time off. See, there's so many variables, like the time off and all that stuff, like, and money. It's just like we were talking about Sturgis. I'm like, there's no way I can ride from Sturgis. No way. Like, I have to trailer it or send it or something like this. Just from where I am all the way southeastern Massachusetts, it's just. Could you? Absolutely. The amount of time it takes, again, you're talking like almost a week to get out there and a week to get back. Like, it's, again, depending on how many miles you want to put down. So, and then by the time I get there, this thing might need some sort of maintenance or whatever. So, yeah, that's just, again, so many variables. But at the same time, again, the trip was awesome. Doyle was awesome. T-Bone was awesome. Like, Rykerrides, all these guys that were down there, super cool. I got to meet some new people, seeing old friends, and again, seeing places I've never seen before and roads I've never been on, getting to do the tail. So all in all, super awesome trip. Super happy I made it. Super awesome that the Roadie Riders were able to come with me and hang out with us and do that trip too. So that is post-gam. And the other thing is, literally bought this thing a week before. Like, that was a huge variable, and I haven't talked about the other thing that happened with this right when I bought it. But so yeah, I was looking at the old Ryker, and yes, it had issues, and again, everybody knows, well documented, the things I've done to it, how I've ridden it and all that stuff. I'm just like, for long distance and me planning out these trips, it was a fun ride, but I'm like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I got to get something slightly more comfortable, and again, more so a dealer can work on it. That was my tipping point. I'm like, all right, I need something a dealer can work on if I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like, that was it. That was the sound. Like, all right, I need something, because the dealer's not going to touch this heavily modified Ryker. But yeah, so a week before, I started, and I'm so glad I did this. I was just going out and just putting miles on it, breaking mileage and all that. I noticed the temperature gauge was being all weird. And then it ended up overheating on me in my driveway as it's idling. I'm like, all right, this is the problem. Dropped it off at the dealer. Like, my Platinum dealer in my area, it's a little, not out of the way, it's just about 45 minutes from me, but, oh man, again. They were super awesome. I bought it from them, brought it back to them like, hey, something weird's going on with the temperature gauge. It overheated. They fixed the temperature sensor, fixed it. Everything's been fine since then, all in one day. So props to them, to Bob Skidoo up in Easton, the Platinum dealer for them. Super awesome. Got me going. Right now, 90% of the miles I have on this thing is from the GAM trip. So I was feeling out the Ryker, like the rally, on that trip, trying to figure out suspension and do all this stuff. So now that I've felt it out a little bit more, adjusted suspension, things like that, I would like to tackle the tail again, and not be fully loaded. Again, we were going from hotel to hotel, so we had all our bags and everything on us doing the tail. Again, the tail was a fun road. I just, doing it once, it is slightly overrated for what it is, and it's so busy. Like, if that road was a little less busy, and like you didn't have all the car clubs and stuff trying to act like they're friggin' some sort of race car driver going around there, it's just like the dangers that go along with it, I don't think is worth it. Like, unless you're sitting there, unless you got there at the time that we did, on like an early weekday morning, and then you can just do it once. Because I looked at it, wasn't, I know Doyle had asked to do it a couple times, like go back and come back, and I should have just kind of taken time, and I should have adjusted the suspension and things like that. But also, like, that Lotus Club and then like the Miata Club, like, that's a bit much. So, and luckily we did it because our Lotus ended up kind of going off the edge. But anyways, but yeah, so definitely I would like to do the tail at least one more time if I'm in that area. But yeah, so definitely feeling out the Ryker. So that was an interesting part of the journey. It's like, all right, I know Rykers, like I know this, but the reality is slightly different. And again, like the suspension settings and getting comfortable and all that. And now I've got it dialed in. Now that I've got 3,100 miles on it now, so we are good to go. But yeah, so that is post GAM. I'm going to make a video about my pre-GAM stuff because I'm trying to get ahead of stuff and actually make videos that are time sensitive at this point. But that's weird. Yeah, so anyway, go down there, do all the fun YouTube stuff, do the liking, do the subscribing, do the sharing. While you're down there, I got some cool stuff from Epic Water Filters. Apparently that's a meeting house. You get some cool filtered water, and BLRtuning, outside custom, some cool stuff for your motorcycle. And of course, as always, any money I make off this channel, including my merch, goes to Moby Kit Rescue to save the little kitties. Kittens. Kitties. Kitties. Kitties! With all that being said, thank you for rocking with the flock. I'll see you guys on the next one.